Hello, everyone. I'm Armstrong Williams, and we're in our CNN studios as we prepare for our Fox 45 commentary. Listen, John Patrick Bedell tried to go into the Pentagon yesterday, cool, calm, and collect, opened fire on Pentagon police. Fortunately, they were alert enough to take him out. He later died. Obviously, his father said he had mental problems. People are beginning to ask the question, how can someone get so close to the Pentagon? Well, man, people can get to the ticket counter. They can go down to the escalators and get up to the security point at airports before they start checking to see whether you have weapons, explosives, and anything else that could do harm on an aircraft. I mean, listen, you can go to the ticket counter at Amtrak and get as close to the gates before you start boarding. So look, if people want to do something like this, there's nothing you can do to stop these people except what happened last night. You got to make sure that people are alert, and all it takes is one incident like this. I mean, the Pentagon has existed for ages. We have a situation like this. It's something that's rare and unusual. People will say that it will cause copycat crimes. Well, let the copycat crimes ensue. But the bottom line is, these Pentagon police officers and officers at Amtrak and airports are armed and dangerous, and they are prepared to shoot and take you out. And it's interesting. Obviously, John Patrick Bedell was upset over some 9/11 attacks didn't really happen, and a friend of his, a Marine, died, and there had been a lot of speculation about his death, and he thought there was a cover-up. So obviously, all kinds of things were going on in his mind. But the bottom line is that there are people out there, some insane, some not insane. Some are very calculating that they want to go and do harm. Obviously, he wanted to kill people within the Pentagon, and he was not interested in the passengers he was passing by on the subway and in the hallways until he got to the security checkpoint. Because this maniac, this lunatic, could have opened fire right in the subway, right into the main entrance, and have done harm. So his mind was calculated on doing harm once he got beyond the perimeter of the security point. I guess he was watching enough movies where he just felt he was going to just blaze the place up and shoot his way through security. But reality set in, because what happens is you can watch these movies, you can go over all the plans in your head about how you're going to get through the Pentagon, how you're going to get through the White House, how you're going to get to the Capitol. But once you're there and it's real life and real security guards with real arms, you forget that they shoot back. And so obviously the lesson is you've got to be pretty brazen and pretty crazy if you're going to go up to a security checkpoint and pull out a gun and just start shooting on armed officers. Hey, look, salute the Pentagon, salute the officers. Our prayers are for those that are glazed by the bullet. They're not in serious, their life is not being threatened. But obviously they did a fantastic job and protecting the perimeter of the Pentagon, making sure that the only people who were injured were the police officers and the assailant was killed. So listen, if somebody wants to do this, what can you do to stop them? But if a parent knows, or if a loved one knows, if a friend knows that there's someone out there with these crazy ideas where they want to take out their angst, their anger, their conspiratorial theories on someone else, then what you need to do is alert authorities. But the sad news in this country, until someone goes and does exactly what Bedell did, there's nothing you can do. They actually have to be in the act of trying to commit the crime. So even if you had all the information in the world, if they said this sicko was going to the Pentagon, you would have to wait until the person shows up and pull out the gun before you do anything. There's little you can do to prevent it. It's just like these terrorists on American soil. They plot, they plan, they meet, they congregate. You know what their intentions are, but until they try to blow up a building, until they try to do harm, there's nothing we can do to stop them. So the best thing we can do is keep praying, keep hoping that situations like this are minimized when you have alert police officers. Because remember this, when you are a security officer, doesn't matter how friendly people are, how much they're giggling, how much they're trying to distract you, that could be a serious threat. You should always be on your job to be willing to take these crazy people out. Take them out so they don't have the opportunity to do this again. I'm Armstrong Williams, and have a nice weekend.